Hello, everybody. We're just going to wait a few more minutes, just letting a few more people pop on here. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining our virtual information night. I'm so happy to see you're all in attendance. My name is Mia, and I'm the recruitment marketing lead at Olds College, and I'm going to be your moderator for this evening. I'm joined by Student Recruitment Officer Marvin Zeltzer, who's going to be presenting the information this evening on our hospitality, brewery, and business programming. Our agenda is pretty straightforward. Our presentations on programming is gonna run until around 7 p.m., where then a Q&A with our admissions officers as well as business instructor Kurt Spady will begin. So if you can look to your right-hand panel, the GoToWebinar control panel, you can feel free to write your questions in the chat box or the question area as they come to you, or you can save them until the end, but either way, we'll just make sure that those do get answered. And I also did want to mention, if you stay until the very end of the webinar, you will receive a $25 promo code to our online campus store. So I'll now pass the mic over to Marvin, and he's just going to make sure that all of your audio settings are looking good, and then we will jump right into the presentation. Marvin?
Right, awesome. Thank you, Mia. Good day, everyone. Happy to be here today, virtually talking to you guys. On the screen here, hopefully everyone can see this. This is just our agenda for the webinar. So you can see I'm going to be going over a bit of information with you in terms of the hospitality and tourism program, Brewmaster, as well as our business programs. And then at the end, we're going to have some times to answer some questions. Our admission officers are also on the line here to help answer any questions you guys may have. We want to make sure that you leave here today having all of your questions answered. So please feel free to pick our brains, ask lots of questions, and just remember that we're here to help. So this webinar should take around an hour to complete, depending on how many questions we have. And we are lucky enough to have a faculty member joining us from the business program. His name is Kurt Spady, and you'll have a chance to chat with him after we get through the main portion of the webinar here. So we are using GoToWebinar software. So just keep in mind that, oh, pardon me here. Just want to make sure we're sharing the same screen. Perfect. So we are using GoToWebinar software. You'll have a screen very similar to this on your computer right now. So just to kind of give you some a walkthrough here. So questions, if you have any questions for an admission officer, for myself, or for potentially a question for Kurt down the line, please feel free to type it into the question panel here. There is a small chat box at the end of the little window here as well. If you have any questions or just want to ask anything off the top of your head, feel free to type that in and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Like I said, our admission officers are moderating this webinar here, so they'll be able to answer all of your questions. And we will have a few different handouts, things that you can download while we get to the end of the webinar there, but we'll definitely let you know how you can go about and do that. So diving right into the presentation here, guys. So just a little bit about Olds College. So for those that don't know, Olds College is located in the town of Olds. So we have around 9,000 people living in town, and the college has been around for over 100 years. So we're right here in the heart of central Alberta. We're approximately 45 minutes south of Red Deer, about an hour north of Calgary, right here smack dab in the middle along the Queen Elizabeth Highway. So we started Olds College back in 1913, And essentially what we were was a demonstration farm for the government of Alberta. So this is where people would learn about agriculture, home economics, how to deal with crops and livestock. Late 1800s, early 1900s, that was definitely still homesteading time. So people were still trying to wrap their heads around, what is agriculture? How do we make our lives easier? And we needed a place to actually learn to do that. So that's kind of how Olds College started. And we've been doing that ever since. So we've been around for over 100 years and we're still going strong. You'll find that a lot of our programs have ties to agriculture. Obviously, the ones we're talking about today are a little bit more along the lines of business, hospitality, and brewmaster. But you'll see in our next slide here, these are all the programs that we offer. So we have around 30 different programs that all revolve around agriculture, agriculture technology, animal health, business, equine, horticulture, land and environment, hospitality and tourism, brewmaster, meat processing, as well as some trades and apprenticeships as well. I recommend, if you are thinking of other programs, just check out oldscollege.ca. That's a great resource to kind of just get some more information, find more about Olds College. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to get right into the presentation piece, starting with, before we get into business, I guess, the pathways. Forgot about this slide here. So just keep in mind, here at Olds College, we do specialize in certificates, diplomas, and we have what's called applied degrees as well. So I'll talk about these as we go through the actual program pieces here, but we also offer apprenticeship programs at Olds College. We have articulation agreements with different post-secondaries around the province, and we also have an in-house applied degree as well. So if you want help kind of mapping out your post-secondary journey, we do have wonderful staff like admission officers that can help you out and kind of guide you in that journey and really make sure that you're getting the most out of your education. All right, so getting right into this. So the business program. So like many other post-secondaries, Olds College does offer a business management diploma. What our program is all about is kind of just really diving into the hands-on piece of working within the industry. You'll find that Olds College, what we're really known for is our applied hands-on learning, our small classroom sizes, and our unique programs. And business management is definitely one of those for sure. So with the business program, the first year, you're going to earn your certificate. So this program starts in September, you're done in April, and you're really going to learn the fundamental skills that kind of go into business. And our curriculum is accredited by the Canadian Institute of Management, as well as the Certified Professional Accountants of Alberta. You can transfer into our diploma program after completing this one-year certificate. And we try to make sure, again, that this program is as hands-on as possible. And so you're going to be covering a lot of different things within the certificate. Again, you're going to be doing a lot of business fundamentals. You're going to be learning about communication skills, business management. You're going to be learning accounting and marketing skills as well, along with micro and macro economics too. You will get to learn how to ultimately manage resources, people, money, time, and materials within the business program. But again, that's kind of the fundamentals of the certificate. So that is a one-year program. You can then transition into the business management, general management diploma. So that is a direct transfer into that. And what you will learn is just kind of taking the fundamentals of that first year and really taking it to the next level. So within the diploma, there's going to be a lot of group work. There's going to be a lot of project-based learning within the program, and students will actually get opportunities to work with real-life businesses and entrepreneurs and really get to put their theory and see what it's like to do that in real-life practice. So again, including those real-world projects, working alongside business owners, they're really going to get to see what it's like working in the business industry. And business is just one of those programs that there's so many different career pathways. We've had students in the past get into many different areas, whether that be marketing, advertising, starting their own business or company, getting into sales. There's lots of different areas that you can get into with our business program. So again, this is the two-year diploma that transitions after our one-year certificate. So you're actually going to leave with two different pieces of credentials, your certificate and your diploma after you complete your 2 years. Moving on, so this is our business management, sports management diploma. So this is a program that you would apply right into. You would indicate once you apply, you're looking to take the sports management major of our business management diploma. So this diploma is very similar to our general management diploma, but you're going to be doing some sports related courses on top of those business fundamentals. So within the sports management diploma, you're going to be doing some courses that are kind of based along the lines of working for sporting organizations, fitness, coaching, sports management, and just really kind of taking that to the next level. This program is often quite popular with our student athletes. So we do get students from all over the place coming to compete in Broncos athletics. They'll often kind of gravitate towards a program like business management, the sports management major in particular, just because that's kind of along the lines of their interests. They can really see what the business side of working in the sport industry is like. And within this program, they actually get to do quite a few different fun activities, and they get to work with our high performance training facility on campus, as well as doing some unique field trips to different organizations. I know in the past, our students in business management, sports management major have gone on to volunteer at the Canada Winter Games a couple of years ago when that was hosted in Red Deer. I know they visited some different organizations like the Red Deer Rebels, Calgary Flames organization, and many other unique things. So it's definitely a rewarding program, and again, a program that's going to focus in on business fundamentals along with that sports management twist, so to speak. And I'm just going to leave this on the screen for you folks to read here. So this is a student testimonial from one of our alumni. Her name is Kenzie Muzziaroni, and she was actually a business student. She graduated back in 2018. She worked as a student ambassador for Olds College as well in the office of the registrar. So she helped out with campus tours, campus visit events, tasks in the office as well. And now she's currently working in the Edmonton area for an advertising agency. So I'll just give you a couple seconds here to read her testimonial. All right, moving on here, guys. So business pathways. One thing to note about the business certificate and diploma is that it is a very transferable program. We are part of the Alberta Business Pathways Agreement, meaning all these schools that you see on the screen, they will allow students to transfer full credit for relevant completed courses within those institutions. One thing we always tell students before they actually go ahead and do this is to really double check with the institution you're transferring into to make sure that you meet all of their admission requirements. So just as an example, if you wanted to transfer and take our 2-year diploma and go on to a different college or university to pursue your degree, you can definitely do that, but just keep in mind to take a look at their admission requirements and check out their transfer agreements before you do so. One thing to note as well is that we do have direct transfer agreements with a few different schools. So Royal Roads University being one of them, you can transfer into their 4-year degree, taking their Bachelor of Business Administration and Sustainability, or you could transfer into their Bachelor of Commerce in Entrepreneurial Management. So that's a direct transfer agreement with Royal Roads. And again, if you're looking to apply to a different area, just make sure that you check out their admission requirements to make sure that your marks kind of line up with transfer. So in terms of career opportunities, as I mentioned, there's many different career pathways when it comes to business. It's just one of those industries that is quite broad with many different areas to get into. On the screen there, you can just see some of the different pathways for students in the past. Careers, Some students in the past have gotten into starting their own companies as well. And yeah, we put this slide just on there just to show you the different areas for students after they're done at Olds College. All right, so moving on to the admission requirements. So at this point, I'm going to transfer it over to our admission officer for this program, Kevin Newsom, and he'll be talking a little bit about what it's like in order to apply, what you'll need, and he'll go from there. So Kevin, are you on the line there?
Yeah, thanks, Marvin. So as Marvin said, so for the business management certificate, as well as the sports management diploma, admission straightforward, looking just at your equivalent to grade 12 English and a minimum grade 11 math, 50% or higher. As Marvin mentioned, in the case of the general management diploma, that it works a little bit differently. The fact that you need to complete the certificate first, and then once in your certificate, you'll end up filling out a form that we call an intent to return. So we don't expect you to pay another application fee if you plan to complete the diploma. There's also an alternate, what we call alternative admission. So this would be an option if you don't have, say, grade 11 math, or if you studied here in Alberta, if you did math 23 instead of math 21-1 or 20-2, it's a possibility to potentially cover what you may have missed. So upgrading may not be necessary, but that's on a case-by-case basis. Okay.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Kevin. So that is kind of just a few slides on our business program certificate and diploma. Again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to use the chat box or the question box. We do have Kevin and some other admission officers on hand to help answer your questions. So moving on to our Brewmaster program. So this program is a 2-year diploma. It is an in-demand program, as you can imagine. This program started back in 2013. So we modeled this program after the 2-year diploma out of Niagara College in Ontario. So we're only one of 3 Brewmaster programs in the country. This program is very hands-on. So as you can imagine, students are going to be in the brewery, working, making beer, sourcing local ingredients, as well as creating and crafting their own beer in their second year as well. So we do have a fully functioning microbrewery on site for our students to use. We also sell our beers at market, so this is open to the public. We do have 4 core flagship beers that the college has produced since day one, back in 2013, and we also feature seasonal beers and student-made beers throughout the year. So within the program, students will also be certified in their ProServe, food handling, and first aid. It is recommended that students do have a solid science background as well before you actually get into the program. Once we get to the admission requirements, you'll see that Kevin will talk a little bit about what you need to get into the program, and we do actually ask that students have a completed portfolio stating why they want to take the program. And this student testimonial is from a student called Jason Armitage. I'll let you guys read that there, but Jason graduated back in 2015 from the Brewmaster program. So I actually went to school with Jason while I was a student at Olds College. And Jason had a background working and selling boutique wine and beer before he came and took the 2-year diploma at Olds College. So right now he's actually working, he's the head brewer at Trading Post Brewing in Oliver, BC, and he has worked for a number of different breweries in Alberta and BC as well. One thing to note about this this cohort, so we capped the program at 30 students, and we usually have a nice mix of students that are just out of high school. We also have had students in the past that are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. So it's kind of a unique cohort, and yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much more hands-on than that, having the brewery on site, making your own beer, coming up with your own ingredients and selling it at market. So that's kind of what the program is all about. In terms of career opportunities, so as I mentioned, working in microbreweries being the biggest one, these are just some other areas where students can get into in terms of career pathways after completing the 2-year diploma. So as I mentioned, obviously beer making, retail, brew pub operations, special events, brewery operations. Okay, so Kevin, I'll let you go ahead and talk about the admission requirements for the Brewmaster program.
Sounds good. Yeah, so the Brewmaster program is a academic, has a large academic requirement. So of course you have to be at least 18 years of age or older as you are making alcohol. But the actual course subjects are quite solid or strict. So need grade 12 English, grade 12 math, and at least one science, either biology, chemistry, or if you studied in Alberta, the science 20 minimum requirements. But definitely I want to take special attention to the portfolio submission. So you can see more detail on the website, but essentially it includes a letter of intent. So why do you want to be a brewmaster? As well as resume and other background. So typically students who are most successful, they have experience in not necessarily with a brewery, but they have the service hospitality background or other science related backgrounds. It's not just I like beer, so I want to learn how to make it. And it counts just as much as your academics. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin. All right, so the last program we'll be talking about today before we get into applying, student life, that type of stuff, is the Hospitality and Tourism Management Diploma here at Olds College. So this is an accelerated diploma, so it can be done in one of two ways. So you can do it over the course of 15 months, or you can stretch it out over the course of 2 years. So within the hospitality and tourism industry, obviously it's the largest industry in the world. Within this program, you're going to be doing a lot of different courses. So you're going to be doing a lot of business courses, as well as some fun courses like mixology, where you're learning to mix drinks and become a bartender, tour guiding, on top of your business fundamentals like marketing, human resources, cost management. So it's a breadth versus depth program. So over the course of 2 years, you're going to have exposure to different facets of the industry and really get a taste of what each portion of the hospitality industry is all about. So when we're talking about different areas to get into, there really is a lot. Anything to do with guest service or customer service, you can apply this program to. And when we talk about hospitality and tourism management, people automatically just assume or think of hotels and restaurants. That's definitely a big part of the industry, but we've had students in the past that have gotten into tour guiding, airlines, cruise ships, working for Disney. Like I said, there's many different areas to get into, and we've had students go overseas to complete their practicum for the program, become managers, entrepreneurs. One thing about our program that sets our hospitality program apart is that we're really preparing our students to get into managerial positions. So thinking like a manager, not necessarily as an entry-level position, but really seeing big picture and ultimately just thinking differently. A lot of our students tend to advance rather quickly after getting into the industry, and it's just one of those programs that's fun. They do about 15 different field trips every single year, and yeah, the lead instructor, Bob Van Summeren, he always says, we're never going to apologize for being in a fun industry. So I often recommend this program for students that love travel, that love meeting people. I often recommend it for students who aren't really sure what they want to do after high school. This is a great program to take if you want some post-secondary experience, if you want to have some some business courses under your belt, and travel. So this testimonial is from Nicole Wiring. She is an alumni back in 2015, and she is actually working right now for UNICEF out of Calgary as an event planner. She was part of the first ever hospitality and tourism management graduating class at Olds College. So we took this program from Red Deer College back in 2013, and it's been home here at Olds College since then. Hospitality and tourism does have an articulation agreement with Royal Roads University out of Victoria, so you can transfer into their Bachelor of Arts in Global Tourism Management, Bachelor of Arts in International Hotel Management, or their Business Administration and Innovation and Sustainability. Just keep in mind, graduates with a minimum B GPA may enter their third year. All other RRU entrance criteria must be met. Again, just make sure before you transfer to double check with the institution to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row before actually going ahead with that. All right, I'll let Kevin take it away again with the admission requirements for hospitality and tourism.
So just like with business, the minimum is grade 12 English and grade 11 mathematics. The big thing to also is the hospitality and tourism management program starts in August. It doesn't start in September like the rest of the fall programs. It does also have, just like our business programs for admission, it also does have that alternative admission options for students as well. Okay.
Awesome, thanks, Kevin. All right, folks, so that was all of the program pieces that we're covering today. I'll be taking the next couple slides to talk about applying to Olds College, kind of what the steps are for that. So it's pretty straightforward. The easiest way is obviously through Apply Alberta. That's how you're going to apply to every single post-secondary in the province. So what happens is you pay an application fee. Here at Olds College, it's $90 for domestic students, $160 for international students. You would then submit any transcripts or timetables. So if you took high school outside of Alberta, you'll have to include that with your actual application. If you took high school in Alberta, we can pull that automatically. And then, of course, any additional requirements that we may need. So, for example, with the Brew Master program, that portfolio submission, there's job shadowing required, that type of stuff. After which you pay a tuition deposit once you get admitted into the program, and then boom, you have your seat waiting for you in January, fall, whenever the case may be. So one thing to note when applying to Olds College, so it is based on a first qualified, first admitted basis. So we do cap our programs depending on which program you're into. We do have kind of a max amount of students that we're allowed to have in there. So I always tell students, if you are thinking about applying, make sure to get that application in sooner rather than later. Some programs do tend to fill up fast, so just get that in, and then you don't need to worry about applying last minute and worrying about the program being full. So for the programs we talked about today, hospitality, business, and brewmaster, those are non-competitive programs, meaning you can apply as long as you meet the admission requirements and have all that good to go. For application open dates, just keep this in mind for programs that are starting in the summer and the fall. We open up applications the first Wednesday of October at 9 a.m. So for example, if you're looking to apply for fall of 2022, we've already had applications open as of October of 2021. If you're looking to apply for a program in the winter, we open them up first Wednesday of February, same time, 9 a.m. So for scholarships, bursaries, and awards, this is definitely very important if you're a student. We give out over $500,000 of free money to our students every single year in these types of bursaries, scholarships, and awards. 1 in every 3 students on average will receive a form of financial help while you are at Olds College, which is awesome. We've got a lot of generous donors, alumni, companies that give back to the college with the idea of helping out students. And the award application is pretty simple. Once you start at Olds College, you fill it out. It takes a little bit of time to complete, but after that, you're put into the fall and the winter draw systems. So it's only one application. It's pretty straightforward. And I always tell students, make sure you fill that out because sometimes they forget. And it's a good way to kind of just get a little bit of help while you're going to post-secondary. Every bit helps. All right, so moving on to residence. So pictured on the screen here is our apartment style complex. So this is called Centennial Village. This is located right on site at Olds College. So we have one of 2 living options. So the first one being Centennial Village. Here's just some pictures on the screen for you guys to see. So each bedroom comes equipped with a twin bed, a mattress cover. You have your desk, chair, and most importantly, your own bathroom. So you don't need to share with anyone else. This is a completely private space. Lots of shelving and storage space underneath the bed as well. I do want to note that each room does come with its own Wi-Fi, so you're not kind of all running off the same Wi-Fi network. You do have your own router, so you don't need to worry about slow speeds or anything like that. We also have different spaces along Centennial Village to encourage students to get out of the rooms to hang out. These are just some pictures from our main lobby area there with the TV. We have ping pong tables, we have foosball there, as well as some other student-focused areas like our Brewmaster lab and our animal sciences lab. So the nice thing about living in Centennial Village, again, you're a couple minutes away from your classes. You can wake up, walk there, be there in a couple minutes, and you'll be good to go. Very convenient to live on campus. The second form of residence that we have are the townhomes. So you can see on the screen, oldscollege.ca/residence. You can check that out if you want more information. These forms of residence are more condo style. So they house 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and we have over 40 of these on campus here. So you do have your own private lockable bedroom. You're going to share a bathroom with one other person. There is a shared kitchen and living room space within this facility here. So the main difference between this and Centennial Village is obviously you're going to have 3 roommates. You can buy and cook your own food because you have your kitchen, your fridge, and your stove, and you're sharing a bathroom with one other person. So we often find that these facilities tend to fill up rather quickly. So we always recommend people to get that application in with campus housing fast so you can secure your spot. You can request to live with roommates and they try to match you up as best they can. So just keep that in mind when you are applying into housing. In terms of laundry, Centennial Village does have a few different laundry facilities there. The townhomes have something called the clubhouses, which are kind of spread out throughout the 2 different courtyards. And that's also a social space to hang out on top of being a laundry facility for our students. So for athletics, Olds College has our team, the Olds College Broncos. So we compete in the ACAC, the Alberta Colleges Athletic Conference. So we compete against teams all over the province, Medicine Hat College, Lethbridge College, Keano out of Fort McMurray, as well as Briarcrest out of Saskatchewan. There's about 17 different teams that we compete against, and we compete in the following sports. So we have basketball, volleyball, soccer and futsal, women's hockey, and badminton as well. We also do have a varsity rodeo team at the college. So if you want more information on applying and potentially earning a scholarship, they do often have ID camps, tryouts, and just ways to get involved while you are being a student athlete. You can check out gobroncos.ca for more information on that. So for student life, obviously, when you go to Olds College, you want to go there for the education. That's the most important part. but you got to remember to have some fun and take advantage of that college experience as well. So we do have a pretty active Students Association, or SAOC. So what they do is they host lots of fun different events and activities on campus each month. It changes. They also have different student clubs that you can be a part of. If there's a club that you're interested in joining, you can definitely do that, or you can start your own club and get the word out there with the help of the SAOC. We do have a pub on campus as well called The Crossing. So this is a pub that's student run, where you can actually work there. They serve Olds College beer on tap. You can do homework, shoot some pool, hang out with friends, all under a safely monitored environment right at the main Olds College building here in the e-learning center. They also operate the job board. So we often have employers and companies that reach out to our Students Association just saying that, you know, I've got this job available, can you post it? That is where you're going to see a lot of those jobs being posted from different companies. The pantry, that is kind of a food bank that we have on campus. We also have our off-campus housing list that is managed by our Students Association. And the Hive is a brand new space which we just launched a couple semesters ago. This is dedicated to Olds College students. It's just kind of a nice hangout space with some nice comfortable couches, some private areas where you can do some group work with your fellow students. They have a little kitchenette in there as well as some booth spaces and fireplace as well. A really neat spot. Health and dental benefits are also managed by the SAOC. So that is something that you're going to see on your student account, and that is all through Students Association. For health and wellness, so we do have nurses here every single day ready to talk to students. They have appointments that you can kind of book in. We also have free counseling available for everyone here at Olds College, completely confidential. We have massage therapy, as well as a testing center and Indigenous services and student center as well. So the main point being, we do have a lot of services on campus. We just recommend students reach out because we do have people that are there to help to make sure students are succeeding while you are going to school there. So our Learning Commons area, this is our library area. So we have different services for students to kind of take advantage of. If you need help with borrowing a book or finding something for research papers, online resources, our staff are there to help you out with that. If you need tech support, IT support, we use Google for the most part for a lot of our tech and software here. So we do have staff that can help you out with that, as well as tutoring support. So if you need help with a specific class, we can help find a tutor for you. If you have accommodations or if you need to be assessed for some, we do have that available in-house as well. For that, I always just recommend that you reach out early on in the semester so we can make sure we have the right services available to you to make sure that you are good to go for when your class starts. And then again, time management skills, studying, exam taking skills, job search support, that's all done through the Learning Center on campus. Again, all these staff are there to make sure the students are there to succeed. So for shopping our campus, I mentioned a few of these already, but we're pretty lucky to have these facilities on campus. So we do have our campus store. That's where you're going to get your stationery items, your Olds College swag, giftware, clothing, hoodies, a number of different things. It's also where you're going to find your specialty ordered items for your program. We have the Olds College Brewery, as I mentioned, that is open to the public as well. We do have a weekly plant sale that takes place every Friday in our greenhouses, where we sell fruits, vegetables, flowers, everything that comes out of the greenhouse and our vegetable plots at market to the public. And we do have a in-house print services team as well. So this is where you can get bookbinding, laminating, perhaps you need some help with some projects. We do have that service in-house. I do want to note that March is our campus tour month, so anyone that comes down to Olds College for a tour will receive a a little swag bag from us at the office of the registrar. You can check out oldscollege.ca/campus tours, and you can book in a tour to see the campus. I really recommend it for people that are thinking about applying, or perhaps you've already applied and been admitted. It's always a good idea to check out the campus, see what the vibe is, see if you can see yourself going there. That's one of the biggest things about going to school, is to make sure that you're comfortable with your surroundings. And I'm a big advocate of our campus visit program. Definitely, if you have the time, check it out. Our campus is really something to see, especially in the spring, summer, and fall months when our grounds are in tip-top shape. You can walk around, check out our wetlands, see the different types of flowers, shrubberies, and everything on campus. It is quite awesome to see. So I do want to note that we are pleased to announce that we are hosting an in-house spring open house called Discovery Day. So this is going to be on Thursday, May 12th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And there's going to be a lot of different sessions for students to check out on all of our different programs. There's going to be campus tours running throughout the day, different prizes that you can win. A campus store is going to be open, brewery is going to be open, and we're also dropping the application fee for anyone that applies on Thursday, May 12th. So we haven't had an in-person Discovery Day or an open house in quite some time. So really excited for that. Just mark your calendars, Thursday, May 12th at Olds College. And we are running this this little promo. So if you've applied and you pay your tuition deposit, you're going to be automatically entered to win a $2,500 tuition credit. So this is for anyone that's applied and that is going to be applying. As long as you pay your tuition deposit by June 1st, you have a chance at winning that tuition credit, which would be quite nice. All right, so that's kind of the formal portion of the webinar here, guys. We do have a little promo code for you to use at our campus store, so you can actually access this online. The promo code is on the screen here, HBBIN. This is going to get you $25 off buying clothing at the gifts or clothing at our campus store. I believe it's only for OC clothing, and it's going to expire after 24 hours of this information session. So just keep that in mind, write down that promo code, and you can spend some money at Olds College and get some clothing to take home with you. For more information on our programs, you can check out oldscollege.ca. Here is our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Olds College. And at this point, I am going to pass the steering wheel to Mia. Mia, are you there?
I am here. Thank you, Marvin. That was awesome. Now I'm seeing a few people write some questions in the question box. That is awesome. Now is our Q&A period. So if you have any questions about admissions for the program that you are here for, maybe you have a question for Kurt, who is a business instructor, and yes, he is here. Feel free to type those into the question box right now, and we would be happy to answer those for you. Kurt, was there anything that you wanted to add in? I think that you had told me earlier you had something that you wanted to talk about.
I'll see if I can I share my webcam there? Do I show up?
Sure, yeah, go right ahead. Marvin, you might just have to stop sharing your presentation so Kurt can share, but.
Yes, let me take this here.
I'll just see if my there we go.
There you are.
There I am. So this information session was for hospitality, brew, and business. How many people were specifically here for each one? I'm curious. maybe just put it in the chat which one you're here to learn more about.
Thinking about it.
Then within business, I guess I teach in the business program. So we do have a sports management major and a general major for the diplomas and a certificate as well. So anybody in the room particularly interested in any of those?
Seems to be a quiet bunch tonight. We got Naomi saying hospitality and tourism, but the others we don't know.
Okay, I've got the chat open here. Well, yeah, I can just I'll give you my kind of speech here, I guess. So my name is Kurt Spady, and I teach in the School of Life Science and Business. I teach a number of programs in business, agriculture, programming as well. I'm from Red Deer here, and I've married 2 kids, a boy and a girl. They're turning 11 this year, so we're hoping to have a birthday party. Education-wise, I've got an undergraduate in management, master's in business, just finishing up my PhD in education, focusing on learning, instruction, and innovation in adult learning environments. Work-wise, I've been teaching here since 2017. I've had an opportunity to experience the campus culture, and I've been teaching since 2011. I had a management consulting company and did strategic and operational planning for Alberta Health Services and a couple other different businesses there, and some management and leadership training, and some background in retail and a few other things besides that. Yeah, so my 5 years here at Olds, again, I would recommend it for people that like a kind of smaller, tight-knit community. The campus is beautiful. Like Marvin said, you can come for the next event there, and everybody here does a great job of keeping things quite it's quite a nice environment to be compared to say a larger city or a larger institution where there's kind of people everywhere, and there's a lot more opportunity for kind of those tight-knit relationships here. And I've had a great time instructing out here, and I've got to meet some really neat students, and I work with some other interesting and qualified faculty. So, and there's always lots going on. Again, there's a lot of new construction happening, so there's going to be new buildings and infrastructure. There's lots of different sports, and we have the community learning campus there, and they do different things there. So yeah, I mean, it's I can just even put my email here in the chat, and if people don't feel comfortable asking questions and with the big group, that's fine. You can reach out to me. Yeah, and I mean, so for my programs, the general diploma, we have what they call a project-based learning approach, where we've had students work with clients to do business planning, and it's been quite a lot of fun, and we've done some good community building there. And with the sports management diploma, we try to integrate current events that are happening around us. We had volunteers go to the 2019 Canada Winter Games, and we got to meet some of the organizers and brought them in for speakers, different things like that. And if speakers come through town, we try and get students involved in that as well. So and work that into the curriculum, sort of so it's staying applied, I guess. So, but yeah, so I mean that's kind of my 2 cents there. And like I say, reach out if you want to know about the business program or just the college in general. I'm happy to talk to folks. So thank you.
Thanks, Kurt. Yeah, Kurt's a fantastic resource. If maybe something comes to you after this presentation and yeah, you just want to follow up, his information's there. And if you also potentially miss this, I will send a follow-up email with everyone's contact info, so no worries. Did anybody else have any questions that we can go over?
Kurt, I've got a question for you.
Sure.
Can you maybe tell the group maybe some program highlights for yourself and for the students, something that you think is pretty unique and fun that they get to do within the business program?
Sure. Yeah, like I say, 2019 Canada Winter Games was a big highlight. We had students go out and volunteer for a number of different sports, and they got opportunities to meet athletes and meet speakers and things like that. We do a Mike's Bikes business simulation, and a group of students this last year, they were invited to the World Championships and competed. They didn't win, but they even just to do as well as they did to get invited was great. We also try and send groups of students to the various business. There's a Deans of Business case competition that happens every year. So we go and compete against Lethbridge and Calgary and Edmonton colleges there, and so we'll with COVID it was a bit tougher because it was virtual, but we'd take a bus up to Edmonton, stay in a hotel, go out for dinner, and present case competitions. And there's one in Lethbridge that's been a fairly regular one for us as well. And for me, it's the ability, like this year, actually, again, now that COVID has relaxed, we're going to take a group to Winsport, and then to Canmore, where we're going to see how those. We had planned to go before the Olympics, right? So we were going to meet some, Olympians and that kind of stuff. We're still going to get to go and see kind of how they train, these folks at the highest level, and see some facilities and meet some managers and some people in the business of sport. So, and the project-based learning in the business general is really a highlight too. Like we've had people do work for all kinds of different companies, from breweries to retail to small business to municipalities. One group got to work with the Red Deer Chamber of Commerce to develop a business plan for a farmer's market. And so really, like, if Red Deer goes ahead with that, those students will have an opportunity to see some of the work that they've put in come to fruition, right? Which is pretty neat. And even to get affirmation from some of those bigger companies, we did some work with PV Mart, and they were quite pleased with the work we did, and sent I think they sent 4 people to Olds to watch the final presentations. Like we have students, they put on business attire, right, and do a presentation the same as you would if you were presenting to a board of directors or something like that. So it's good experience for students, and I think we have a good program, and our numbers have been again increasing, and we get quite a good variety of students. So it's usually again, I find a good community experience, and the classes in the business have been small enough too, right? Like even when you get into like the biggest class I think I had was 50. Even if you have 30 people kind of thing, it's not 200, right? And you can still meet people, and it's quite good. Yeah, so those are some of the highlights for me, for sure.
Awesome. Thanks, Kurt, for the insight.
Gotcha.
We had a few questions that were just sent directly that could read out to everybody.
Perfect. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
One question we had was regarding the hospitality, in the case of hospitality, regarding the mixology course, if it was mandatory, because they don't drink alcohol. And you're not required to actually drink the alcohol during the course, but it teaches you how to make it, as well as non-alcoholic beverages as well. Had another question: when did you say we should apply for hospitality and tourism? So all the programs we mentioned today, as well as the business programs and Brewmaster, we're still taking applications for. But they're all filling up quickly, so don't wait too long. Another asked about sciences for brewery. You only need the admission requirements. Certainly having more sciences definitely helps out in actual courses, but the main is what we need for admission purposes. So biology or chemistry, or if you had studied in Alberta, the science 20.
Perfect. Thank you, Kevin. Those are some really good questions. There's one about portfolio submissions for Brewmaster. What makes a good portfolio submission? Kevin, are you able to answer that?
Yeah, so what looking for, so as kind of briefly mentioned, don't just say, I like beer, I want to learn how to make it. Got to see kind of your background, that you don't necessarily have to have experience. So you don't have to go running out to Big Rock and try to get a job. What want to see is that you've done some research. If you've had no experience in the service sector or at a bar, brewery, that you've done some research so we know what you're actually, that you are truly interested in the program, and not just because really like beer and you want to learn how to make it, that you have that genuine interest. That's really the big thing. Put some big thought into that's really well described on our website of exactly what looking for.
Excellent, thank you. Kurt, I have two that came in for you. The first one is homework expectations or out of class work. Could you talk about that a little bit?
I can, yeah, and I mean every class is a little bit different. There are expectations that people will do, you know, work outside of class. Some things, like I've integrated a couple of optional things for folks to attend conferences or do different things like that. But typically, I mean, there's reading that's expected to be done, and things like that. In terms of hours, I guess, I mean, it really depends, and then you might have a heavy week of reading, and then a lighter one kind of thing. So it's tough to really say, but yeah, I would say it's manageable or on the lighter side, but there is some expectation, and it's different by class.
Excellent, thank you. And the second one, what are the work integrated learning opportunities in business, and do we get to work with real companies?
Ooh, interesting, yes. So like I mentioned, the Business Diploma General is the one where we've had the project-based learning for a number of years, kind of adopted and started by Dr. Kim Kennedy, who's done it. I think she might have done it for, it's got to be 5, 7, 8 years now. And yes, the opportunity exists to work with real companies. Again, we've had, like I say, I should have brought the list with me, but we've worked with, like, it's over 50. I think we hit the 50 mark a year or two ago. So we've worked with 50 community partners, everything from startups. We took a group. We're no longer as closely affiliated, or I think they do a little bit different things now. But District Ventures with Arlene Dickinson, like from the Dragon's Den, she's an honorary degree recipient. She was a commencement speaker one year too. So she kind of organized this District Ventures down in Calgary, and we took students down there. So they got to, see real entrepreneurs, and, they were actually, looking for a venture capital investment. And we worked with some of those companies to develop business planning and strategy and research documents. So yes, 100%. Because that work integrated learning is so, like, we've already been doing it in the business program essentially, and it qualifies. For the sports management major, that is not as quite developed. The opportunities, like, for example, I am always, interested in kind of pursuing student interest as well, if people are interested in doing certain things. But for the business diploma general, yeah, 100%, and we've been doing it for a number of years there too. So yeah, and those will only get bigger as that's been a government mandate. So yeah.
That's awesome, thank you. And Kurt, you just mentioned 2 times. Can you explain what project-based learning means?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the way it works is the second semester of your second year, all of the classes are basically integrated. So there's a project management class, which kind of helps you schedule and budget your time, and a communications class to help you with your writing and meeting with clients and reaching out, and then an entrepreneurship class where you'll complete a comprehensive business plan, like one that you would take to a financial institution for a loan. And then you do a strategy class and a research class. You actually go out and you conduct research. So you'll actually send out surveys and meet with focus groups. And again, it would be to the project based is like, so, you know, if you work with, say, you know, PV Mart, and they want a strategy for a more robust social media marketing program kind of thing. So you go out and do research related to some of those questions and see kind of, you know, do demographic you know, or maybe they want to launch a new product. So you go out and you sit in on these interview, you know, focus groups and things like that. So yeah, and students generally get quite a bit of great data out of that. So anyway.
That's great, thank you. I have a hospitality and tourism question. Kevin, maybe you can help me out. Can you explain the difference between the 15-month pathway and the 2-year pathway? And when do the program starts, and is there any difference in their delivery based upon these pathways?
Sure, Mia. So in the case, it often starts in the second, third week of August, both options. And hospitality is a unique program, the fact that it has the 2 different deliveries. So the 15-month is is the accelerated version, I guess you could say. And the classes are set up in block format. So you take all your courses all at the same, or all one course at a time, so to speak. While the 2-year program is the exact same courses, it's just extended out. So the 2-year version is very popular for both our athletes and international students, to extend that time period out, to make it a little more easier adjustable with schedules.
Perfect, thank you. And just a question came in the chat. What activity or events do breweries take part in?
So like the other programs, that there's a lot of options to be able to do outside of activities. So contests, go actual visit both big and small breweries, as well as field trips to outside of, well, pre-COVID, outside of Canada, a lot planned, as well to the US, to some big events in the Yuma, or no, Yuma? Yakima, yeah, thank you. And then plan trips out to Europe. So hopefully, as the world gets back to some sort of a normal, those activities will be back.
That's great, thank you. Okay. And does anybody else have any questions? These are really good questions, and thank you for asking them, because you're probably not the only person that's wondering. So maybe we'll just wait a few more minutes, see if any others come in. Oh, actually, Marvin, one thing that I don't think we touched on, are you able to talk about the meal plans within residence?
Yeah, so the way the meal plans work, and yeah, good point. Thank you for catching that. If you live in Centennial Village, so meal plans are mandatory, just because there are no cooking facilities within that building there. So you're going to be eating in the dining hall located right across the street from Centennial Village. That's going to be where you're going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So again, it is mandatory for Centennial Village. If you're choosing to live in the townhomes, though, that is where it would be optional, because you have the kitchen, you can buy and cook your own food with your roommates. You don't need to be on the meal plan. So yes, we do have a dining hall and a meal plan in place. Depending on your choice of residence, it'll be mandatory in CV Centennial Village and not mandatory at the townhomes.
Perfect, thank you. And yeah, I just want to say, if and when you come for a campus tour, we'll check out Centennial Village, we'll check out the dining hall, you'll get a full tour of the full campus. So these spots that we are talking about around Olds College, you'll be able to put a place to a name, I guess. What time in August does the hospitality program usually start? Oh, that may have been answered, but maybe we can just answer it again.
Yeah, so it usually runs about the 3rd week of August it starts.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, wonderful. Well, I'll keep watching the question box, but just as a reminder, we do have Discovery Day on May 12th, and we invite everyone to come join us. You could be students, parents, teachers, alumni, whoever wants to come, you are so welcome, and we would love to have you. There's going to be a lot of information sessions on that day. We're going to talk about the services that we offer. We'll give you a campus tour. Some of our programming will do demonstrations. I know Guy, who runs our rodeo team, he's going to do a rodeo demonstration for us. So just some really fun things to look out for. And also, if you pay your deposit by June 1st, you're going to be automatically entered in for that $2,500 tuition credit, which is crazy. It's such a great reason to apply before June 1st. And also, I'm going to type the campus, the code for the campus store. Everyone who was in attendance, and I know Marvin has said this, but if you use the code that I just typed in on our online store, for the next 24 hours, you're going to get $25 off your purchase. So I think that that's it. We're going to wrap up. Thank you everyone for joining us. It has been a really great evening. If you have any questions at all, you can email us at info@oldscollege.ca, or we'll also send out a follow-up email. So if there's anything that comes to mind after this presentation, feel free to let us know. And we really hope that we see you on campus coming up. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.